Hello friends, welcome to CBLR exam preparation. This is part 4 of 2019 question paper having 25 questions. Earlier we have given part 1, part 2 and part 3 of 2019 question paper, each having 25 questions. Hope you are enjoying learning the questions. Question 76. Which valuation rules are applicable presently for import of goods? As per the options given, we understand that Custom Valuation Rules 2007 are currently in practice. So as per the options, option B is the correct answer. Custom Valuation Determination of Price of Imported Goods Rules 2007. Question 77. Acid blacks azo dyes are classifiable under which of the following chapters? We get many classification questions in the exam. So chapter headings and they should be remembered of which type of items are being classified under which chapter headings. Dyes, tanning material, etc. are classified under chapter 32. So as per the option A is the correct answer. Question 78. How much fees is prescribed for amendment of shipping bill or bill of entry except prior bill of entry as per levy of fees amendment regulation 2017? As per this regulation, levy of fees, custom documents amendment regulation 2017, fees prescribed for amendment of shipping bill or bill of entry is rupees 1000 per document. So as per the options, option A or option 1 is the correct answer. Question 79. Why does the custom department ask for a bond for warehousing? Friends, as we see under section 59 of Customs Act 1962, customs ask for a triple duty bond. The basic purpose is to secure the applicable duty. Because if they had to collect the duty, they would have collected it. They would have not asked for the bond. Since they're asking for a bond, the basic purpose is to secure the applicable duty. Question 18. Merchandise export from India scheme. क्या है? What is basically merchandise export from India scheme, MEIS scheme? Schemes in export are of two types: duty exemption schemes and reward schemes. Since in MEIS we get scripts, so MEIS is a reward scheme. So as per the option 3 or option C is the correct answer, export reward scheme. Question 81. Who is a proper officer under section 149 to amend the bill of entry after goods have been cleared from customs? As per section 149 of the Customs Act 1962, the proper officer to amend the bill of entry after goods have been cleared from customs is Deputy or Assistant Commissioner of Customs. So as per the options, option A or option 1 is the correct answer. Question 82. Facility of deferred payment of custom duty has been provided at present to which category of importers? In customs, authorized economic operator program is there, in which tier 2 and tier 3 AEO operators are given the facility of deferred duty payment. So as per the options, AEO T2, tier 2 is the correct answer. Option C or option 3 is the correct answer. Question 83. What is bonding of goods under section 59 of the Customs Act 1962? As per section 59 of the Customs Act 1962, bonding means storage of goods at a specified place on which applicable duty has yet not been paid. So as per the options, option 1 or option A is the correct answer. Question 84. Redemption fine is in lieu of which of the following? As per section 125 of Customs Act 1962, redemption fine is in lieu of confiscation. So as per the option C or option 3 is the correct answer. Question 85. While applying rule 4 of custom valuation, determination of price of imported goods, rules 2007, If more than one transaction value of identical goods is found, then which value shall be taken to determine the value of imported goods? As per the options given, as per the rules, Rule 4 of Custom Valuation Rules 2007, if more than one transaction value of the identical goods is given, then the lowest value will be taken to determine the value of imported goods. So as per the options, option 1 or option A is the correct answer. Question 86. A machine is imported for rupees 1 lakh CIF. Basic custom duty on the goods is 10% ad valorem. Social welfare surcharge is 10%. The rate of integrated tax and compensation cess are 18% and 15% respectively. Please calculate the integrated tax. Now to calculate the integrated tax, we proceed as follows. We calculate the BCD, basic custom duty, which is 10% ad valorem, means 10% of the CIF value. Percentage of the CIF value will be considered. To 10% of the 1 lakh will be 10,000. So BCD is 10,000. Social welfare surcharge is considered on the BCD. So 10% is SWS. So 10% of the BCD is 10% of 10,000, which is 1,000. So total duty becomes BCD plus SWS, which is 11,000. CIF value is 1 lakh. So total it becomes 1 lakh plus 11,000, which is 1 lakh 11,000. IGST will be calculated 18%. So 18% of 1 lakh 11,000 will be 19,980. So as per the options, option B or option 2 is the correct answer. Question 87. What happens if the importer does not clear the goods which are freely importable? Friends, if the importer does not clear the goods which are freely importable, then the custodian may auction the goods if the same remains uncleared for 30 days. So as per the option 1 is the correct answer. Question 88. Whether duty drawback under Section 75 of Customs Act 1962 available for export of goods not manufactured in India? The question is slightly tricky. As per Section 74, if the goods are exported which are not manufactured in India, then the drawback is permissible. However, Section 75 is allowed for the goods that are manufactured in India. Those which are not made in India, Section 75, no drawback is applicable. So as per the options, option 2 is the correct answer. What is the time limit? Question 89. What is the time limit within which the containers of durable nature are to be re-exported as per notification number 104/94 customs? As per the options, the containers must be re-exported within 6 months or extended period. No duty has to be paid. So as per the option 1 is the correct answer. Question 90. Whether MEIS or SEI scripts can be used for payment of IGST and compensation cess? In MEIS, we are getting the duty credit scripts, but IGST cannot be paid with the scripts. So option 4 is the correct answer. Question 91. What needs to be paid if warehoused goods remain in the warehouse beyond the permissible warehousing period? In case the goods are in the warehouse after the permissible period, then the duty be paid and interest also. But since the offense has been committed because the goods were not taken out from the warehouse deliberately, so fine and penalty are also applicable. So as per the options, full amount of duty together with interest, fine and penalty is applicable. So option A or option 1 is the correct answer. Question 92. X works value rupees 90,000, inland freight rupees 10,000, ocean freight rupees 50,000. What should be the ocean freight be taken in above cases in case of imports by air? So as per the custom valuation rules 2007, it says by air the freight value is 20% of the FOB value. In this case, the FOB value is 90,000 plus the inland freight, that is 10,000, that becomes 1 lakh. Freight part cannot be more than 20,000 even if it is higher is paid. So as per the options, 20% of 1 lakh is 20,000. So as per the option given, option 4 or option D is the correct answer. Question 93. Whether on finalization of provisional assessment, if the importer is required to pay duty in addition to provisionally assessed duty, is required to pay interest. As per section 18 of Customs Act 1962, when final assessment of the provisional assessment is done, then yes, with effect from the first day of the month in which duty is provisionally assessed till the date of payment thereof. So as per the options, option 2 is the correct answer. Question 94. The compulsory compliance requirement CCR instruction in the bill of entry generated by RMS is applicable only for first importer, second customs broker, third customs officer. CCR is applicable for all of the above. So option 4 or option D is the correct answer. Question 95. An exporter presents shipping bill on 15th March 2019. Let export order is given by the proper officer of customs on 20th March 2019. Goods shipped on 25th March 2019. The rate of export duty is 10% on 15th March 2019 and changed to 12% with effect from 17th March 2019. What should be the rate of duty on export? Now see, the let export order has been given on 20th March 2019 and the rate of duty has been increased from 10% to 12% on 17th March 2019. So the rate of duty on export shall be 12%. So as for the options, option B or option 2 is the correct answer. Question 96. A bill of entry is presented by importer on 15th March 2019 and it is assessed by the assessing group on 16th March. By when the duty has to be necessarily paid by the importer to avoid interest liability? Answer is by 18th March. Reason: this question has been asked in the context of 2019. Slightly tricky question. As per the rule which is prevalent, next day the duty must be paid as assessed by group. Since 15th was the Friday, 16th assessment was done. So 17th March 2019 the duty must be payable, but 17th was Sunday as per the calendar. So 18th March is the right date. So as per the options, option 2 is the correct answer. Question 97. Whether custom duty is paid on containers of durable nature in which goods are imported? This is a field work question. Those who are working in the field, G card holders, they have very good and fair idea about this. The duty is not paid on the containers. Also, the containers need to be re-exported within 6 months or the extended period, and a bond is executed by the importer or the shipping agent in this regards. So as per the option 3 is the correct answer. Option C is correct answer. No, provided the container is re-exported within 6 months or extended period and a bond is executed by the shipping agent or importer. Question 98. What if an importer importing goods from the related supplier fails to submit all the requisite documents and information required for SVB inquiries? In scenarios where buyer and seller are related, SVB loading is done, but if importer fails to submit all the required documents, then during such SVB inquiry, commissioner orders and security deposit at the rate of 5% for 3 months is taken. So as per the options, option 1 or option A is the correct answer. Question 99. An advance authorization scheme aims for what? It aims for goods to be physically incorporated. So as per the options, Option 2 is the option B is the correct answer, to allow duty-free import of inputs which are physically incorporated in the export goods. Question 100. After assessment, if payment of duty is delayed by importer, what is the applicable rate of interest to be paid by the importer? Applicable rate of interest to be paid by importer is 15% if the importer delays the payment of duty. We have covered 20